Thursday, April 25th. I am here doing some flooring renovations in one of the rooms at our place. So bear with me. I am going to talk about how I got into Bitcoin, starting with the very beginnings. And it actually started with Dogecoin. Now, while I tell my story, let me just get my beverage here. So it all started with Dogecoin back in, I'd say 2020, March of 2020. That was a time when Elon Musk was on Twitter at the time. He was talking about Dogecoin, and me working in a room full of techies, I decided to look into it. So like, what is this Dogecoin? So I was asking coworkers, like, what is Dogecoin? What is crypto? What is Bitcoin? But when I saw Bitcoin, I said to myself, holy crap, it's like 40K at the time. I said, nah, I don't want to touch that. And when I saw Dogecoin, I think it was like 25 cents at the time. So I said, okay, this one can't go wrong. But the problem was, how do you buy it? So what happened was, I looked it up online and I found an exchange, a Canadian exchange, NDAX. At first, I was a little skeptical. I wanted to make sure these guys were legit. Of course, I did my homework. It turns out they're in Canada, in I think either Saskatchewan or Alberta, one of those two. But it was NDAX was the exchange that I used to first get into crypto. Now, again, my main target was Dogecoin at the time. And I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna go buy me some Dogecoin. It was cheap. It was like, to get one Dogecoin, it was like a quarter. So I said to myself, okay, can't go wrong. Let's go buy some. So I kept on buying, getting into it, reading about it. I learned about fractional investing, but the other two cryptocurrencies that were in that site at the time was Bitcoin and Ethereum. There were other ones I didn't really pay attention to because I didn't know what they were. But I saw Bitcoin and it was right at the top, and it was like, holy crap! Like, I kept looking at it. I was really, I would say, kind of unmotivated to look into it because I'm not going to be dropping 40K on something that I didn't really know about. So I kind of left it on the back burner. And then eventually, the whole Dogecoin craze came about. Elon Musk kept on shilling it. There was a night where, I think it was Saturday Night Live, he apparently was supposed to make some big announcement. It went up, but it was a sell the news event. And it was the first time I've actually experienced something of that caliber where people, sell the news sort of thing. And yeah, I learned the hard way, just like most of the investors. So anyway, after that, I held on to Dogecoin. I learned about Cardano, Matic, DOT, Shiba Inu, for that matter. Shiba Inu, in my opinion, was actually a lot better investment. But moving forward, I said, you know what, like, I even had a family member message me and said, hey, you know what, just letting you know, man, like, Dogecoin's like a meme coin, and it's technically a shit coin if you ask me, and it's not really something you put your savings into. And he was right. So after a while, I figured, I was kind of move it out of the way. So I did. I moved it into, I diversified it, moved it to Ethereum. I had 5 Ethereum at one point, but then I said to myself, I never touched Dogecoin at the time. I said, it's too big of a goose to try to nail. So I said, I'll skip that one. And eventually, when the whole FTX thing happened, let me just move this down. When Sam Bankman-Fried got caught, shit went down. Didn't happen right away, but it was November 2021. I heard Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George, that guy. I was painting the basement, and I remember him say, like, wow, we're at an all-time high, November 21st, 2021. I think it was around like 65K Canadian. And that was the highest I've ever seen Bitcoin. And at that time, I thought, okay, yeah, you're not going to touch that. And then once it started to go down a couple of months later, when, you know, the news literally pulled it back down because of all the, you know, wrongdoings that happened at FTX, the price of Bitcoin just friggin' plummeted, right? So I thought, okay, maybe this is the time. So it went from like 60K to 30K. So I said, okay, whoa. I started looking into it, and like I said, at the time I had like 5 Ethereum. So I said, maybe I'll this is my chance. So I started to dollar cost average, DCA. And once I did that, you know, I think that was it, man. I never looked back after. I just DCA'd. I just went hardcore into it, and I still diversified here and there. Once upon a time, I did have a little Matic, Cardano, DOT, and Shiba Inu, little Gala as well. But eventually I said to myself, you know what, Solana I'll save for another time, but I also had Solana. And up to today, I do have Solana, but the big kahuna is, of course, Bitcoin. That's where everything's at, and that's where you should be paying attention to. So that literally just kind of rounds up how I got into Bitcoin. And till that day forward, when I started, you know, I think I'd say the day I moved all my Ethereum to my new Bitcoin bag was the day. I don't remember, I didn't write it down or anything, but that was the actual day I got myself into it. And eventually I started reading books. There's a couple of books that I recommend that you guys read. I'll post this here momentarily. I just haven't had a chance because it's stored in a box somewhere. But yeah, the story of my Bitcoin journey started at that time. I moved all my Ethereum to my Bitcoin bag, but never looked back, don't regret it, and here I am. So folks, what's your Bitcoin story like? How did you get into it? Comment below, let me know. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.